Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bob Randall and Company Live Preview Show for a Monday, August 21st, 2023. This is episode 28. And everyone, please put your hands together and throw them in the air for the Mr. Randall Santa Checker
Hey,
Lee.
thank you, Mr. Bob. Thank you. Like I said, I'm gonna bottle your introductions all the time. I really am. Great to see everybody. Welcome to another Monday. Like I say, TGIM. Woohoo, TGIM. The weekend's over and I can get some rest.
It's true, very true. Well, for us, it's the same old broken record. 106, 107, 108, 109. We've been 108, 109 the last 4 days. Heat indexes 111. No rain and
Is there any end in sight yet? I know last week you said no. Is there
none
any yet?
whatsoever. The temperature is only supposed to be 106 today, but the humidity comes up, so it's a trade off. It's still going to feel like 111 or so outside.
Wow, there.
It is what it is. We as of today, when we break the record for today, we will be in second place all time for the hottest August on record. The one that holds number one, we may catch. It's only a half a dozen more days. That was the summer of 1980, which I've mentioned before, the year that our great daughter over here, Angela Mack, was born. And I was working for Carnation Foods, driving a forklift, unloading boxcars. So you can imagine how hot it was that year. I was younger then, though, and had resilience.
Makes a big difference. It really
Yes,
does.
it does.
Oh my
It
gosh,
does.
that makes a difference. This age
I
fit is
was
no fun. This getting older really is no fun. It really isn't. But man, I
I
mean,
almost won't go outside unless I absolutely have to this time of year now. It's just it's just brutal out there. So I know you got good news. How's the weather where you're at?
actually today was beautiful. Yesterday was a little bit spicy. It was 88, but we had the grill late night. The family came over for a barbecue later night. I had a show in the morning and everything, but we had barbecue. So, but actually Thursday and Friday they're talking it's going to be the upper 90s, going to index over 100 up here. So but it's
It's a
supposed to be 60 degrees tonight sleeping, so it'll be some great sleeping weather. Sorry, Bob. Sorry, guys. I apologize.
we
But
did have a little bit of a reprieve last week, early last week. We didn't reach 100 one or two. I guess it was 2 days. We were 98, 99. Humidity was low. It got down into the mid 60s for the morning low. Right now, Randy, uh, 4:30 in the morning, it's still 97, 98 degrees outside here. That's just, if it don't cool off at night, then it's surely not going to cool off in the daytime. So
that's
we're
just
ready for fall. Wished it was here. It's coming quick. It just can't get here quick enough.
that's just wrong being that hot.
That's
Ouch.
unbelievable.
But
Yeah,
like
we're lucky if it cools off to 86, 87 here at night now. Last few weeks. So hey,
then I will be looking at you in December and January, February, and March while I'm at sub-zero shoveling snow, wishing I was down in Texas, saying how nice it is. You're telling me it's 60, 70 degrees, and I'm shoveling snow and there's ice everywhere. And so there's always a trade-off. That's why it's been a couple great days. But I know that four-letter word, that SNOW word is coming up.
for you it is, and I don't mind the snow for a day or two, but after that I'm done with
A day or two.
it. After
A
that I'm
day or
done with it.
two. God love
I'm
you,
over
Bob.
it. I'm over it. I'm done.
Uh,
It's a great break, but we'll just take the fair weather. We like fair weather.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
And
you.
speaking of fairs, the fairs have opened across the country. There's fairs, going on in every state. A lot of towns and cities, and of course ours will be coming up here in the near future. Hopefully, we'll get out this year. Didn't go last year. A couple of years during COVID, it was shut down. You could actually buy a ticket to drive through, and they had a handful of eateries that were open that you could pull up to, and they'd come out to your car. And that way, you could get your world famous, corny dog that everyone seeks during the fair time.
And elephant ears,
They
elephant ears.
had a few booth games set up that were simple that you could do from your car. So, but I think this year, as we have seen a report yesterday about travel. more people are traveling right now than before COVID.
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
numbers are way up. Therefore, the cost of traveling is way up, not only for airfare, gasoline, hotel costs, food costs, just all the way across the board. It costs more to travel and go out
it's
and have a night out on a town with the family. I mean, it's
that
gotten really,
supply and demand
really
is what
tough
it
right now.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
get out with the family, but it is supply and demand. That's what's making everything go up high. You made a comment about fairs coming up. I've never understood all my life. Usually during the Labor Day weekend, there's always a state fair. There's always Ferris wheels. There's always the carnival. Now, there's I don't know how many cities across the United States. How are there so many amusement companies that can fill so many places on Labor Day weekend? I
I
don't
know.
I don't understand because most places have their state fair and they have the carnival, but tons of cities in my area here have carnivals during that weekend, and I'm sure other states do too. Where do they all come from for that weekend?
There was at one time there was, I think, quite a few of companies that uh, they bought, a few rides and they would travel from spot A, spot B, spot C,
Yeah,
point A, point A. But I think there's just so many out there now that a lot of them, I know at our state fair, we have a number of rides that stay up year round. They just sit there all year round. They come in and inspect them, each day during the fair, make sure they're ready to operate. But I mean, used to they tore those things down and moved on to the next town. But
yeah,
there's so many places, to your point, that are having carnivals and fairs that I think that's a big, big industry right now.
it's a craziness. Man, I've got to say, I apologize. This is off the subject. Back to the weather. Kimmy, no, you're wrong. No, bring on the snow. Sorry, I saw that it says bring on the snow. Kimmy said no, 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 and no.
Hey, and Kimmy, I hope you're feeling better. I know you've been a little under the weather at times. A few things going on there, but hey, we're always praying for you, and we're glad to see you on today, as well as Bart. We've
Man,
got quite a few looking watching today. Dana is on. AJ. Uh, I know
Sean's
Parker's
on,
on. I
and
saw Parker up there somewhere earlier. So got
what happened to
a
my?
bunch of comments
There
coming in
we go.
already. Fantastic.
We got Santa Tom. We got, yeah, like I said, Bart's on. I'm going through the list here. AJ, like you said, Dana's on, Tom. Yeah, we got. I know Charlie was on. I saw Charlie. Mitch. I think I saw Mitch on there too. Good to see everybody. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to Monday. Again, we're honored and thankful you guys are here. Everybody's here. Really,
Yes,
thank
we
you so
are.
much for being a part of our time and spending it with us. Thank you so much.
Tom has a comment over here. Washington State is second only to California in gas prices thanks to a 40 cent a gallon carbon tax. Yeah, that makes it even worse when they start adding all those road taxes and carbon taxes and fuel excess taxes on there. It's to really raise the price of gas up, and it's pretty high right now. We're back to those summer peak driving vacation time. So seems like
Yeah,
every year that's when they switch over to the summertime formula earlier in the year, and then the price just goes up all the way through Labor Day.
we're
So
up to about $4, 3.89, 3.99 a gallon up here is what it's going on right now. So it's not cheap at all. I mean, it's when you
I
drive
don't
a
think
truck.
it's stopping people from traveling. They're just not
No, not
traveling
at
as
all. It
far,
really
and they're
isn't.
not taking as long a trip. Say
Right.
used to where they would take a 10-day trip. Now maybe it's a 6 or 7 day trip, and I mean, we still got to have our recreation. We still got to be able to get out, enjoy ourselves, have some fun. So
We were
that's what
bottled up for years. I mean, that's the whole thing. We were pent up for so many years. It's like, let me out. And that's
that's for
what
sure.
it is. I think that's what they say is part of it. Why there is so much travel going on, people just kind of rebelling against, in a way, from being locked down for so long, if you want to call it a lockdown, but not being able to travel to see your family or special occasions. It's we got to get out. That's what we're meant to do. We're human beings. We need to connect and everything else and get out and hang out with people. I mean, that's
It was tough where we are a social species, so
right.
something we do need. Kimmy says don't or do hate Randall Santa Checker Lee. Stop being stingy and share the snow. And she says thanks to me. She goes tomorrow for surgical consultation. she's blessed by all her Christmas family. Very true, Kimmy. Very true. All
You
right,
can have
Randy,
it
are you
all.
ready to move along and see what this something burger holds for us today?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. I know our.
Let's throw, let's throw the hot topics out there.
Oh, good, good, good.
This is a good one here. I like this one.
I'm sorry. Before I say this one, I still can't. Every time I see that picture, I still can't believe I made that thing. I'm sorry. It's just, I just go, are you kidding me? What did I do? What was I thinking when I made that?
Oh man, it's the best. It's definitely the
Uh,
best. If you do not have a smile on your face to that point of the show, that's got to bring a smile to your face. Just thinking about trying to wrap that around your lips.
it's just something about it. It just drives me nuts every time I see it. Yeah, this is kind of a. I'm gonna try to maybe dance around the one word I'm gonna say, or do you think I should just say the word outright?
Just go
Just say
ahead
it.
and do it. We're all
All right.
adults here.
All right, everybody. I'm going to ask it's like, it's just two questions. Have you ever been peed on? Have you ever had, been soiled on? And, how did you deal with it? What was your reaction and what happened afterwards? I mean, how did you, and then do you carry an extra suit or a pair of pants just in case that happens? Have you ever been peed on, soiled on, or whatever? And how did you react? How did you talk to the parents? How did you, and do you keep in the car or in your someplace an extra pair of pants just in case that happens? How about you, Bob?
I'm four
Four
for four.
times? Four times?
Four for four. When I say four for four, I mean I've been peed on, I've been thrown up on, I've been soiled on, and yes, I carry an extra pair of trousers. Also, it's really a great idea to have a package of baby wipes with you. Put them in your bag, whatever you carry with you to an event. It doesn't matter what kind of event you go to. You're always uh, going to be at one point or another need those baby wipes. Popcorn, they sell popcorn at the mall. Of course, the donut shop is just down, our cookie shop is just down the way from us. Chocolate gets on the fingertips. There's always good to have those because, hey, children will be children.
Yeah, I mean, I will knock on wood. And it's been close, but it hasn't happened. So I haven't had to. I mean, I do. I always keep an extra suit with me anyway. I always have an extra suit, even just because I ripped a pair of pants once, so it wasn't because it soiled the pants ripped. So now I do keep an extra suit just because of that reason. But then I guess how I gotta ask Bob, how did you react to the what happened? Did you just say here and keep on going? Did you stop the line? Did you what did you do after that happened?
Well, you go ahead and finish your visit out, depending on what the situation is. And if it's throw up, then that's something that needs to be addressed immediately. The wetness you can, like I say, handle after that particular thing. But if a baby is spit up, and a lot of times, Randy, it's not real what you would say throw up. It's
Yeah, just
uh,
right.
milk. They've been feeding the baby in line, and instead of burping them, they just pass them off to Santa, and they instantly want to spit up. And a lot of times it'll get on your sleeve or on your pants leg, and you'll just say, "Hey, mom, can you come clean your baby up?" While they're cleaning baby up, then you grab some cloth wipes and clean up and or baby wipes. And as far as being soiled on, you can always smell those that have soiled themselves coming towards you if it's number two.
Right,
So
right.
there's a certain way to hold a baby where the bottom doesn't touch.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You
or
don't keep your
a toddler,
you
you
don't
want to
push it
sit
up even
them.
out and for yeah,
Yeah, a
that's a
toddler, you want
total
to sit them off to the side. Do not put them on your knee.
right.
Uh, there's different ways to handle different situations. I have had older children that smelt like they had soiled themselves, and I will always ask them to stand to the side of the chair with me. I scoot up on my chair and turn slightly towards them. That way, there's more interaction. You can still turn and look at the camera or interact with the child without being out of position. So positioning in the chair is very important. And but I mean, if you get wet on, you can either clean it up with Clark's wipe, baby wipes, whatever you have handy, and then most of us have a fan. There are set. take a pan and say, hold on just a moment, and take that pan and put it right on that spot, and let it, dry it. If it doesn't smell, then you can continue on. If you still get that smell afterwards, then it's time to go change trousers.
Yeah, I just kind of wonder
And
how
you
that
just have to
first
say, hey,
reaction was
Santa, I
like,
said,
ew, like I got to take care of this. I just,
yeah,
I mean, I did I was doing a school show and I had a young lady, this was doing magic, and I had a young lady come up on stage, helped, and she actually peed on stage. So it's like we kind of moved over and then somebody came and cleaned it up, but we finished. I did
yeah,
finish the routine. She was fine, but this is the only time I've had it happen. It wasn't on me. It was young lady did it on just on a stage part. So I was
yeah.
just curious. We've got a bunch of people
That's,
here. Bart says not yet, uh, but I know that's only a matter of time. And yes, that's true, Bart. It's only a matter of time. That's why also when you do animals, you want to make sure you definitely always keep. At least I do. I always keep a blanket or or a pad over my which I always have in my bag next to me. Have a pad that I put over my lap so it soaks up whatever. Oh, and it's, even if it's just the animal dander. Um, and the next one is what's a Facebook user? I gotta find who that is. As a mom, yes, and as a Mrs. Claus, nope. Of course, as a mom, yes. As a dad, many times. As a
yeah.
dad, many times. I'm afraid to say, but as a uh, so see who that is. As a mom, yes. As a dad,
Tammy,
okay. Thank you. Um, and then Kimmy, no. I had a baby spit up on me just a little bit. My gloves in my sleeve, and of course, we always carry. At least I do. I think most Santas carry. Mrs. Claus do carry an extra pair of gloves, and they're the easiest thing to change. So if it's only in the glove, that'd be easy to deal with. Um, and a spare one. Yep. Another Facebook user. I don't. I'm gonna have to figure out how to sure that okay. I don't think that's actually Scott. I think it's Scott Parker. I don't talk about it. It could happen, and I always bring. And Scott says he does. He always brings a backup suit also. Um, always baby wipes since 1997. Been bringing baby wipes. That's a long time to bring baby wipes. Stammy. I mean, it is a ladies were far smarter than the guys. They were bringing wipes far before guys ever thought of it. Thank to you, ladies. You programmed some of us guys to bring them. Thank you. Um, uh, have you peed? No, not that, sir. I really haven't, Santa Tom. Not myself. Well, maybe when I was college years, you don't want to talk about that though. But that's another story anyway. Um, Next one is Rex Ray. Rex, how are you? Good to see you. How's everything down in Florida? Is it sunny? I'm sure it is. Yes, I have been both peed and pooped. Thanks. I had to say the other word, soiled, but that's okay, Rex. Change suits each time. Always have a full spare. And again, it's the old Boy Scout. Come prepared. Always be prepared. We never know what's going to happen, especially if you're in a chair for a long time. It's a great thing to do. He also says I keep a blanket, um, a pocket which the diapers can change onto my knee. Yeah, okay. And the next is after that is Erica Moesha. Hey guys, how are you? I didn't know that. Good looking out. Probably means maybe a blanket idea. Maybe that's what they're referring to. Um,
Christmas tree skirt is really great for that too because they're
right.
so decorative.
Oh,
You can use Christmas tree
yeah, they're,
skirt.
I mean, and they're ready to go. And I would even then put they have the puppy pads or their whatever you want to call it. You can pin one underneath, so it definitely
Yeah,
will not soak through. Um, I'm when I did a cover, I actually made a like a pillow pouch, and I just slide one in and slide one out, so I can wash it and all that. Uh, Great answer question. Bart, the great advantage of working with a Mrs. Claus is if you need to do wardrobe change, that's right, guys. And show you can be interrupted, Mrs. Claus can fill in. You got that right, man. Thank goodness the Mrs. Claus. That would be a perfect time to say, excuse me, and Mrs. Claus can entertain. She can talk to the children. She can do some wonderful pictures besides, because most Mrs. Claus has got sometimes better smiles than Santa Claus do. They really do. Um, Tammy, Tammy's Mrs. TL Claus. Hey Ben, how are you? Um, What if a second suit gets soiled too? Well, um, you've had a really rough day. That's the only thing I can say. If you've had two suits soiled in one day, I think it's time to go home and call it a day. If you
Yeah.
honestly have two suits in one day get soiled, um, but then again, then that's why you have in your bag a nice blanket or a nice thing. That's now the way your lap looks. That's I've got the I don't have it here. Where is it? Even this
Well,
I have. Mine kind of looks like this. That's then that would be my lap they would sit on.
and for me, Randy, I have three company suits, and I always have at least
Oh,
one, sometimes two of my suits up there. So I have a whole rack full of suits to choose
so
from.
yeah, so hopefully, and I can say that a zillion times, it won't happen more than once a day, because twice a day, like I said, there's the cloudy thunderclouds above your head there if you get twice in one day. The next
Yeah.
one here is didn't know to bring baby wipes and blankets with a diaper pad. Thanks, guys. That's from Erica Moishi. Yeah, um, yeah. The just and most of us have carry some type of a bag with us that when we walk in, Santa's got a bag, or of course Mrs. Claus definitely has a thing. But I've gotten used to carrying a bag with me. I didn't like it at first, but boy, it's nice to have. You can carry the book with you. You can carry if you don't want to have your thumb tips on you all the time, or if you whatever it is, or little trinkets or something, you've got it right in their bag. Their white bets, the blanket, the book. It's just it looks fine as long as it's a holiday looking bag. Santa can carry a bag with him. Props. You bring props with you then. Not big props, but some people we don't want all our keys on our belts because sometimes when you're sitting in that chair, they get in the way. I mean, sometimes I do. I don't. I keep my bell and I mean my keys and my whistle, my reindeer whistle. I won't put them on my belt because it hits the handle of the chair. So keep it in the bag. So, but there's a great place to keep your blanket and put that little pad in there. And definitely white pads to clean. Of course, we always keep extra gloves anyway with us. We should have change of gloves. So, but great idea. So, not many, thank goodness, not many has that happened to. Um, and like one said, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because uh, and it's just an accident. It just, but I think it's less than what the um, the myth. I think what it was years ago. I think the myth became bigger. Oh, Santa, did you get peed on yet? I think the myth years ago was bigger than it really honestly is. I mean, what do you think, Bob?
I think so too. I do. Uh, Real quick, Ben Bellhorn. Hi, Ben. Uh, he says he's at the stylist get bleached for the season. I guess we should pose Santa Tom's question to him. Has he paid on himself yet?
No, have you coughed and hacked and with that bleach? Maybe that should be the um yeah, Ray Bradshaw says I will have three suits for the Denton. So hopefully you don't have to go through all three suits in one night because they got soiled. I mean, like I said, I really honestly, from what I see and read, it is probably more the myth that people
Yeah.
ask you, because I think who hasn't been asked if you've been peed on? I mean, you say, oh, I do Santa. Oh, how many times you gotten peed on? And I think it is far more of a myth than it is as it happens. Thank goodness. Um, and sometimes you can tell when somebody's getting a little sick, quickly moving. Like Bob said, you can tell when there's something in there, and you just hold them properly. So, but it's
Yeah.
coming soon, folks. So soon. Oh my goodness, I just can't believe how close around the corner it is. I mean,
That's what
it's
we have to
just
look forward to.
ready. So
Yeah.
cool, guys. Again, thank you. I just thank you for always every week for your input. I mean, it's a delight. It's a delight reading everybody's stuff. Thank you.
So in review, be sure and take extra suits with you. If you're at the mall, and like I say, in my case, I have a rack full between the three of the mall supplies or the photo company supplies and the two that I have. And sometimes even have more than that. I have extra trousers and things that are in my Santa bag, my apparel bag that goes to each suit. Each suit has two sets of trousers. So I'm well prepared there. Baby wipes is a big plus. A pet pad, pet friendly pad. You should use a decorative cloth to cover that up, be it a Christmas tree skirt and or blanket or whatever you can come up with that you would like to use. And again, just be prepared. But most of all, be ready if you smell or see something that doesn't feel right. You can always reposition the child depending on their age, standing next to you, holding a baby without touching his bottom by caressing it with both hands. Toddlers, set them on the arm of the chair so that they're up more of a height. If you've got a decent arm for them to set on, is a great way to put a toddler up. But hang on with both hands. That way, if anything happens, you've got them in control. So those are all things that you can do.
Also, the hardest thing is that I think biggest thing then is don't get out of character. And that can
Right.
shock you sometimes. So you get out of character, but you don't want to get out of character when that happens. Oh, it happens. Oh, don't worry about it. You just have to keep that Santa persona when that happens, even though you're thinking, oh my gosh, there's $60 to get my suit clean. I'm going to smell like, what, it's going to run through your head, but you can't get out of character. And that's sometimes that's sometimes it probably gets me more thinking about it than anything else is like, oh, okay, no, oh, it's okay. It's keep in character, keep in character.
You can take it to the next step, Randy. You can have a backstory prepared for that
Beautiful.
situation, saying that when my right hand man, whatever you call your right hand elf, or one of your top elves, Charlie, who, whatever, was little, this happened, and ho ho ho, Santa's always prepared. But build a little backstory to go around it if you need to get yourself in a position once it happens. Hey, make fun of it, have fun with
Yeah,
it.
and that's why I keep it in character. Like he says, ABC, always be in character.
Always being a character. All right, Randy, that was a fantastic
Cool,
segment. As
fantastic. Thank you, guys. Now Bob's got a great one, guys. Again, as always.
well, this one here is just something that, again, I scour the, Facebook each week looking for topics, and you see different things out there from week to week. But this was one that I saw recently, and there was a big conversation that went along with it. So we're going to pose it to our audience here today. Have you ever been asked to donate your time as a clause? I think we all have at one point or another. If you do it long enough, you're going to get asked, "Hey, can you donate your time?" Here's the thing, though: do a little research because just to find out that everyone except Santa is getting paid, that's just not right. If if the photographer gets paid, if the rental company where they rent the tables and chairs, or the venue site gets paid, why isn't Santa getting paid? Is it a true 501c or some type of non uh, for profit charitable organization? Do your research ahead of time. Ask these questions as you're negotiating with the client. Why do you think folks that seek clauses think that we'll just work for free for events? I mean,
It's
it happens. It's almost like they expect us just to donate our time as a clause. I mean, we have expenses that you know as a business that we have to take care of also. So we can't donate all of our time. Now, a big portion of us try to donate a portion of each year. Time, free events when you can, if they're worthy. Uh, like I say, if it's a true nonprofit, then that is a different situation than a charitable event that still has money in the bank, money in the kitty. So always check that out and see what you get there.
yeah, I
Uh,
think. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say because there are some charitable events that still, have revenue, have income. They come in one way or another, sponsors or whatever. Go ahead, Randy.
I think a lot of people still think we're Santa, we love to do it, so you just want to do it for free. It's like I remember doing magic. Well, you just love to do it, just come and do magic, and you'll get another show out of it or something. And I think it rolls back to the old myth or the old days when Uncle, no pun intended, Uncle Bob or Uncle Sam used to put on the Kmart suit and he'd come in and do Santa for free all the time because he loved doing it. Well, our profession now is different. We are professional entertainers. We spend time, like Bob says, spending money perfecting our craft, spending money on I mean, suits and time and everything else. I think a lot of people still look at it the other way that it's like, oh, you just love it. You got a, $49.95 suit. You put it on. You come in and say ho ho ho. You sit there and what do you want for Christmas? And you're done. And it's not. We are now entertainers. We want to make everybody feel special. So it's all. This is also something Ted Flynn says. If the DJ makes money, Santa should make money. So and that's kind of the same thing. Ted Flynn says that it's like to do a profit thing, and we all have expenses. You even if you want to do it for free, like Bob says, and we all have to give something back, but you still got gas, you still got your time. Get something in return for that. Um, and But if they try and do squeak it out of you, um, if the DJ makes money, you should too.
Yeah,
We are professional entertainers. Sorry, Ted.
absolutely. And Rex brings up a great point here too. Also, this is said on Facebook many times, but there's still a lot of guys out there that's either just getting started or hasn't had the experience to know that you can accept a donation from, and basically what it is if you're working for an event, they pay you your normal rate or whatever you negotiate with them as a rate, then you turn right around and give it back to them as a donation. That way they win, you win, both of you have a
Wow.
tax reason for money exchange. A great way of doing it. Always just take the money, turn it right around, give it right back to the foundation, the charitable event, whatever whatever the cause is. Bart has a good point. He says if you present yourself as a business, identifying your LLC or whatever designation, then it's an unspoken truth that you are a business. Very true.
Mhm.
Parker says, I do a parade for free because I don't, someone else will. That has now turned into 8 more paid gigs with that city. And that, again, Parker, you're giving back to your city, the city that you live in or the city you grew up in or wherever you may be, be working or doing the parade part. You're giving back to the children. Parades are so much fun. And yes, they are high exposure, especially if any media is going to be there. TV stations, newspaper, uh, blogs, just anything where you can get that exposure, that can always bring you extra gigs. It may not show up that first year, it may not show up that second year, but just remember this: everybody wants that Santa that's up on that float to be their Santa at Christmas time because he's high exposure. So keep that in mind. Everett says nonprofits take money in kind donations. Exactly. Perhaps one of the companies who donate to them each year can sponsor or pay for your visit as part of their yearly donations. That's a great point because again, there a lot of times there is, I say is a lot of companies, parades, whatever that still have income from sponsorship or something that's out there. Somebody is donating something. If they're taking donations, then Santa should get a small portion. Bart says every business card, letterhead, signature line of every email identifies that I am an LLC. That is a great point, also, Bart, that puts it out there. Everyone knows. And again, uh, LLCs, you're covering yourself with those. Kimmy says, this is what I do. Ben says, the most eye opening experience I had was my very first event of my very first year, and it helped prepare me for this. I was asked to do a party for a family of fallen police officers, and I told her I would do it for free. She refused and told me that they have very generous supporters and they have money to spend. This helps me understand what I was getting myself into. Again, even if they are a nonprofit event or for profit, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's always money associated somehow. They've got to be able to pay for what they're doing. Uh, I mean, look at it this way: it takes many to put on an event. So, are they all working for free? I doubt it. I'm not sure who this is. Do you charge nursing homes and assisted living facilities?
That's actually
I go
Randy
in,
Neely. Randy Neely, who that is.
Randy. Okay, fantastic, Randy. Now, Randy, I have done some here in the Metroplex. He's up here in North Texas area with me. Uh, I have gone in and donated my time to assisted living nursing homes just to have them pay me at the end, and I always leave it up to them. I tell them if you have funds, if you want to compensate me in any way, I'm going to leave that up to you. Whatever your budget can afford, or if you feel compelled to give me something, whatever you give me, I'll be happy with. So I don't ever set a price. I don't ever tell them that I'm going to charge. I go in doing it as pro bono, and then if I get that check in the pocket as I leave, which has happened, then I'm more than happy. And I have even turned around one special occasion I did and tried to get the check back, and the lady refused. She would not take it back. I just kept saying, "Take it. You guys need this money worse than I do," and she refused. She said, "You were so
Wow,
good," and I spent a couple of hours there, and she put $100 in my pocket.
that's very sweet, and they were
Yes,
appreciative of what you did, and the gesture of giving it back is, they understood it, and but they know what you did for them, so it
and,
works
and a
out.
point and a point to that is, you go into nursing homes, assisted living homes. You'll go in, and there'll be the community room, and they'll be out playing bingo or playing 42 or dominoes of some sort, checkers, something, chess. And those are all the folks that are still have their cognitive abilities to socialize, you might say. And then they take you down the ward, and you go into the first hallway, and those are folks that are on short-term care because they've had an accident, broke a hip or whatever, needed assisted living, and eventually will go home. Then the next hallway they take you down is the next level, and you see folks that are going to be there, until their final days, and then of course you have that last ward that you go down, and those are the folks that are in final stages. So when you leave there, you go from a really high to a very, very low low. Your emotions are just eating on you as you're leaving. All these thoughts are going through your head, and for them to walk out to the front door with you, or take you into a back office, or I even had the one lady that gave me the $100. She walked me out to my car, and it really made me feel good about what I had done, even though I tried to refuse the money. It still it kind of lifted my spirits, and to know that I did something for the community and got a little bit back in return. I got a lot back in return emotionally, you know.
Yeah, I've been going to one every where my mother-in-law was for the last couple of years on Christmas Day, and that's the only thing I've done on Christmas Day for the only thing I've done. I never worked Christmas Day. I would go see her and her at her nurse at her home like that, and
Yeah.
it 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 is as heartwarming and as hurting as it is going to a hospital and seeing a child. I mean, it's just the other aspect. Their children are in the hospital when they're young and they're sick. These are at the end of their world, and they're even probably even happier to see you that are there, and it is so fulfilling. I'm just glad I started that on Christmas Day, even though I've never done Christmas Day stuff before, but I had times right around the corner, so like Bob said,
And
it's
that type of gig is not for everybody, Randy. It takes a special person to be able to
man,
check their emotions at the door. There's an old saying, what can make you happy and the same shoes can make you sad. And there's so much truth to that when you go to any children's hospital, assisted living, anywhere that you see those kind of things. But in the end, somebody needs to be able to fulfill that part of what the community needs through the Santa world, and that's it. Again, it can make you happy, but it can also make you sad.
I just got the
Ray Brad,
chills up my back just thinking about it, just because of how emotional and powerful it is. But you don't know if they're going to be there another month, and it's very it's go on go to Ray. Sorry, let's move on.
okay. Ray Bradshaw says after the clothing, Santa schools, gear, equipment, backdrops, etc., we're into this about 10 grand, and have only brought in under 2,000. So we're deep in the hole. So yes, I do charge for my services. And Ray, that will change for you. That is part of doing business. Any business you go into, you're going to have a business investment. If you don't have that investment, then you do what you can. You get by with what you have. Eventually, though, in 2 to 3, 5 years, you'll be setting at a point where you'll have extra money again. You'll be able to reinvest, and either you'll break even or you'll be ahead, depending on how many gigs you do, how much you charge. It's a fine balance, but it's a business. Not sure who this is. Facebook user, yes, said has a TV replay and live webcast too. Parker, yeah, I figured it's Parker. The True Spirit of Christmas, thank you. Who was that? Tammy. Thank you, Tammy, for that comment. Bart, oh yes, thank you for asking. Last weekend, Santa Super Saturday, Kringle University with Jeff McMillan in Appleton, Wisconsin was wonderful. He will be great at Branson next year. Bart, so true. You cannot, absolutely cannot go wrong anywhere that Jeff McMullen, Santa Mac shows up. Make yourself get out and go. I don't care if you have to crawl on your hands and knees, just get out there and do it. Jeff is one of the most amazing people, uh, quality person all the way across the board, and an amazing Santa and clown and many, many more. I mean, we could go on all day talking about how great of a person Jeff is, but love Jeff a lot. Okay, looks like the comments have quit coming in. Randy,
Good.
fantastic segment,
Man,
man. This thing just keeps getting longer and longer, doesn't it?
love it though. Love it. Thank you guys. Just phenomenal. That's
But
what we're
that
all here. We're better together, so we all
Well,
learn
and for
and
me, this is
all
what
right.
the Monday show has become.
Yeah.
Something Burger has really blossomed into such an educational opportunity for all of us to share and learn. And I'm so glad that we came up with this idea and have implemented it into the Monday show because it has really taken off. All right, Angie, let's go ahead and get into the Santa's Closet .org trivia, please.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
All right, Randy, before we read the question, there's two things I want to do here. Number one, we want to say hello to Scott Martin. Scott Martin has not been feeling well, has had some problems. He's joining us today. It's good to see you, Scott. God bless you, brother. We got you in our prayers. Number two, on the second half of the trivia question, I've got what city and date. That should be what country and date on that second portion. It actually says it afterwards in parentheses, but or in
Okay.
brackets, but
Okay.
that
Gotcha.
was a typo there. Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
no problem. Alrighty, guys, this is cool. And this is a question about the Christmas tree. According to University of Illinois, this is a Christmas tree fact. Where was the first decorated Christmas tree? Now we need the city, the country, and the year for that. And what country and date was the first printed reference of a Christmas tree? So basically, we've got two questions. So we need about 5 answers, really, 5 words. But where was the first decorated tree at? Where was it first decorated? City, country, and year. And then next, what country and date was the first reference to the Christmas tree? Wow. First reference to a Christmas. I mean, I think the first one really, I didn't realize it was the first one really got me. The first year for when the first one was literally decorated. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, me too. And our guest tomorrow night, Parker, lives in Illinois, so I started doing some research on Illinois trivia, and this popped up, and I thought it was very interesting.
Seems interesting from a survey like that from the University of Illinois. I think it's kind of unique that a university like that has a fact like this in there. But it's
Yeah.
some cool facts, guys. I have to get them. We get about five. Need five things. We need city, country, and year for the first question, and country and date for the second question. So it'll take you a
And
little while to type it. I don't know if Charlie, you might still be in timeout. I don't know, Charlie.
both those years is what really surprised me. Like you said,
Yeah,
that was
yeah. Especially the first one is like, what?
yeah.
Am I reading this right? Wow. Wasn't as bad as
All right,
that
guys.
cold temperature you said we had, or how many inches of snow for Michigan. That got me more than anything. Months ago, you said how many inches of snow Michigan had, and I had no idea it was that many around the area. But that was a long time ago.
It's amazing what you can find when you put a few words into a little box on a screen, and all this stuff pops up. And
Crazy, all those weird facts you can do, or ask Siri. Siri, tell me. Oh boy.
I literally can get lost in just reading once I get one page open. One search engine
Yeah, I can
page open,
believe
and
that.
the different articles and different things that are said along the way there.
I
It's
can
amazing.
believe that. Wow.
Never stop learning.
That's the thing. Never stop learning. I mean, if when we do, I think it's pretty much it's over. I mean, we can't
Yeah,
stop.
for sure.
So
All right, let's do the backside of this, and we'll be right back. All right, Elfin Chatterbox News. Today we got some updates on North Pole Cornerstones. That's npcornerstones.com. Website is being updated continuously. What I can share with you today is that our individual registration cost is $4.50 per person. $4.50 per person. All meals except for the Saturday night out dinner, which is you're going to be on your own on that one when we go down to the Riverwalk to ride the boats, sing Christmas carols, and enjoy the Riverwalk in San Antonio, downtown San Antonio. Will be on you. Our hotel room cost has been decided, and that is room rate is $149. There's a plus to that, like all hotels nowadays, but that does include breakfast. We were able to negotiate breakfast in and get the price down. We're very satisfied with that. Our host hotel is on the northwest side of San Antonio at Loop 410 and Interstate 10. That is the Marriott Northwest, and all that information is on npcornerstones.com. So if you plan on coming, we would love to have you. Registration has blossomed. We're getting on up there with our registration. We're super happy about the turnout, and we are working diligently with our committees and putting together curriculum, new interactive curriculum that is going to be something that Santa Nana has not taught the way that it's being taught, or SatBobs. There are some familiar topics, but we're revamping everything. So come join us February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, San Antonio, Texas, npcornerstones.com. All right, Randy.
I couldn't hold it up much longer, but I'm glad.
Yeah, hey, that one will catch up to you after a while, right?
But that's
Yeah,
okay.
for
I mean,
sure.
it's going to be a phenomenal 3 days. I mean, between the two classic Santa and Mrs. Claus schools with the new concept that they're coming up with, the new teaching, and it's going to be an incredible. Besides everything inclusive, that's just it is a very wonderful piece.
Well, and both Santa Nana Santa Nana's Holiday University and SatBobs have been around for a number of years, and we were very blessed to have Lucky Royce, Santa Nana, the founder of the curriculum, based that everything is based off of. That's why we call it Cornerstones, because Lucky Royce and Gordon Bailey, they both were friends. They had talked many times about curriculum, teaching styles. They had so much in common. They both had cancer. It's amazing that how everything ties together. Sometimes you look at things and you say it was just meant to be. This is one of those things that was just meant
Right.
to be.
Meant to be.
And we're so excited to be able to bring it to everyone. New concept and new way. You ask the questions, what would you like to see at a school, or thank goodness for Spangle coming up with a concept that he's come up with as far as the layout of the School of Santas and the way he does things, and you take and you build off of what's out there, and that's something we've done. We've listened, we've done our homework, and we're ready to perform. So that comes February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in San Antonio. All right, over to you for the Master Claus Academy.
Okay, guys, the Master Claus Academy is going to be in March, the 23rd and 24th of March in Columbus, Ohio, with, like we were talking a few minutes ago, with Jeff McMullen talking for one day and Lee Andrews for the second day. I mean, 2 days in a row of incredible, incredible talents. Is that not just incredible Santas, but performers? It's more than worrying about how your beard's going to become white, and that probably won't even be talked about, maybe a little bit, but that's not what it's about. It's about performing. It's a very performance based item, and of course, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what us here at Bob Randall and Company are doing. We are giving a scholarship for that. Um, so what I'm doing is I will be posting the instructions on the page on our Facebook page about how it is to send in your essay about how to get your scholarship and how to win. I will just briefly read it over now. Again, sponsored by Bob Randall and Company live show and Randall Lee. You will need to write a 100-word plus essay is required to enter. Why the questions are on here. You will read the question. Why I enjoy being a holiday performer and how I have improved my performance. So it's pretty easy answer, but we need you to write an essay. Just to let you know, there will be a panel of 3 judges that will be judging these things, the essays. There will be no names on them. I will take them and each one a number. So number 1, each judge will only know you as number 1. There will be no name. There will be nothing else. It'll be strictly judged on your 100-word plus essay. So there will be, it'll be very straightforward to send in. And then, again, I will put it on there when the deadline, it'll be all in here. The deadline is 11/24 of this year to be sent in. There's an email address on the website that'll show, the Facebook site, excuse me, to where to send it to, your essay. And then we will be answering, letting people know who will be getting the scholarship in January. Of course, it'll be all the way in January when you get it January 14th when it will be putting it on the Facebook page. We won't be back on Monday night, but we will be letting people know January 14th who the winner is. But I will be posting these on probably many sites, everything. So it's not just Tuesday Night Live, but it's a scholarship that it comes from me because the Santa community has been so good. And of course, Bob has been so good to me too here, and Angela. So us at Bob and Randall want to give something back to the community, and I do too. So for everything. So, but the explanations will be on there. If you have any questions, you'll see where to contact me about it. But it's for the $275 paid to go see Lee Andrews and Jeff McMullen. Wow, free. Of course, you got to pay for everything else. Sorry, guys. That's that. We'll move on. You'll have plenty of questions when you read it, but.
Very good. Now, I just want to challenge everyone. I say challenge. I'm asking everyone, please, once Randy posts this, gets it over on the Tuesday Night Live show group page, go over there and share it. Share it from there. Share it from his site, wherever he puts it. Share it. Let's get it out there. Let's see if we can find folks that really need the help, that can't afford to go to a Santa performance school, that would like to go. If you can't afford to go, I mean, you can still apply. But I think that 100-word essay is going to play a big part in consideration. Now, the one thing I've got to say is I don't want to be or wouldn't want to be the three that's got to decide, because that's going to be a hard job.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard job to decide, but I wanted to that's why I decided to do the numbering. So there
Yeah.
will be no, oh, I know them. I really want, they deserve it. I wanted
Right.
to make it as fair. And I was going to pick names out of a hat or something like that. But I think that's just too much by chance. This really, to me, explains why you want to be a performer, what makes it so special. You can pour your heart out, is what the judges are going to be reading. And then it's going to be just as even as possible, so nobody gets judged on if they're a Mrs. Claus, if they're a Santa for 2 years or 20 years, or you're for a buddy or a friend. There'll be none of that. So and we just want everybody to be able to learn more. Then you get a scholarship to go from us, and that's all. We're all better together. So we're all in this together to make the children happy, and to bring smiles and joy to, because that's our job, and keep on learning. So.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Also, I might mention that in the committee meetings that we've had the last few weeks, we've for North Pole Cornerstones, we've discussed the same concept of scholarships, and those are announcements that are coming here in the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. Now let's move on to the School of Santa's 2024, Branson, Missouri. That will be July 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. And again, keynote instructors Jeff McMullen. Can I say enough about Mr. Jeff? Santa Mac, Kringle University. And just so everyone knows, limited seating for the 2024 session. There's only one school, one session this year, and it's almost full. So if you do decide that you want to go, better get your money in quick. Only takes $100 to Tanya Lay at Branson Ticket and Travel to secure your seat.
It's crazy. It just ended, 3 weeks ago, and it's already 80% full already. It's like,
Yeah, he had,
wow, you know,
and after
thumbs up,
after
Spangle
the
for the
and
whole
that just
thing.
that's a testament of what the school has become, the fun, the value for what you get. 89, I think it's 89 people after the second week had between the 2 weeks had already signed up. But that's something that Spangle also does. He puts out uh, a little card that says, if you want to go to next year's session, get in now, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it's worked out well for him. Folks, think about what fun they're having at that moment, right then, right there, and decide to go the next year, which is pretty cool. All right, let's move on to our TNL upcoming guests and shows. Of course, tomorrow night, everyone's friend, Santa Scott Parker, one of our most dedicated viewers from day one. We've said that over and over and over. Now, Scotty has sent me weeks ago this little jump drive, Santa by Parker, SBP. And gosh, man, there are so many pictures and videos on here. I'm going to have a hard choice trying to figure out which ones to play and which ones not to play, because we can fill up a 2-hour show easy right here.
Without even any talking, huh? That's fantastic.
Talking, so. But he's got some fantastic stuff in there. Parker has really blossomed, come a long way from when he first hit in a Bass big box sporting goods store. Sorry. In the beginning to what he's doing nowadays in Illinois since he moved back home. But fantastic, going to be a great show. The script is in, and I want to thank Parker for sending us this and helping out with the questions and things that will be asked tomorrow night. It's always fantastic. Have help from our guests, get them involved, part of the process. Lauren Jensen, gosh, round 2, storytelling and his backstory of Santa. Randy, pick it up from there.
I tell you, I've got Lauren Jensen will be here the 20th. I have to tell you a story about Lauren here. Actually, it's about Lauren. Lauren doesn't even know about this really. Because I've moved, I decided to start going to a different church. So I started going to a church a little closer to where I live right now, and I'm going in and meet the pastor and all that kind of stuff. And I'm walking in, and says he wants to get together. We'll get together before, and I said, well, during the holiday season, I'm rather busy. The guy with white beard, and he goes, oh, I know somebody. My neighbor is somebody with the white beard. Oh, really? And he goes, Lauren. I said, oh, Lauren. So Lauren Jensen is the new church that I'm going to, is the neighbor of Lauren. The pastor is the neighbor of Lauren. So we were talking about Lauren at church yesterday morning. So but Lauren's got amazing things to talk about, especially, like I said, his backstory will I guess I'm going to say it'll amaze you, and because how it connects so many different ways, not just from a movie, not just from ancient history, not just from it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Besides, he's going to talk more about his shed, which he's been advertising, which he's going to sell out in a heartbeat, I'm sure. He has every year. So don't miss the 29th, August 29th. Yeah, August 29th, the end of August already, will be Lauren Jensen. Then September 5th, we have Diane Vian, excuse me. Boy, quick change. She'll be there again. A phenomenal Mrs. Claus. She'll be there. Can't believe it's her first year, but she's done so much already. And like I said, I will never. They have blown me away so much. These Mrs. Clauses, about what they can do, how excited they are, how much straight knowledge and stuff they can do. And I've said this, those fresh eyes that they have, we need, at least I know I do, from the Mrs. Clauses. So don't miss Diane on September 5th. September 5th. I mean, wow.
She and Branson went out. She and I went out in the hallway a couple of times and spoke for a while. She's so much like a sponge. She's soaking up so much right now. Had some of the best questions that I've heard from her first year Mrs. Claus in a long time. And she was to class early and was so attentive during class, listening, learning. So she's going to have some cool stuff to talk about from Branson, and of course, it'll be a great learning experience for her also. And she actually joined in on one of our live broadcasts that we had there, and did a fantastic job. I know my first year I was so nervous to even think about trying to speak on camera. It took me quite a while to finally get relaxed and learn that just be natural. But she's a natural.
I just love it the way some of the new Santas and Mrs. Clauses, they are, like you said, they're like that sponge. It's like they just everything that they want more, but they just take so much in, and it's like, I'm sorry, I got boom, it just falls out or something. I just can only take. I mean, it is amazing. So but again, September 5th already. Then September 12th.
Well, and the next couple is a prime example of that too, Randy. Elizabeth and Tracy Rouge. This will be their second year, and they have just blossomed and jumped up, doing so much for a second year couple. It's unbelievable. You would think they had 10 years, 15 years experience at some of the things that they're doing. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's great, and I thank you, because then you said their last name properly. So so that's on the 12th. I mean, again, Mr. and Mrs. Claus combo. There's so much to learn, because, like we said earlier, when we talked about the pants bit, hey, Mrs. Claus is there to save the day. He's there to save the day. And then the 19th, of course, always need to talk to Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill's got, they've got thousands of places and thousands of Santas they need spots for. So Ruby and Becky will be here again then to talk about almost last minute stuff to get together and sign up for the holiday season, because they'll be here the 19th of September. And that's kind of the last minute. It's not last minute, but they can tell you what they've got left, because I don't know how many thousand last year was, almost just over 1,000 Santas that they booked out for the season. So, and then the 26th, September 26th, is Bob Churchwell, Santa Babbo. Again, professional Santa from Burlington, Colorado. Man, I would love to be a Santa in Colorado with the snow in the mountains. It's got to be so close to the, even though I'm not a snow fan, it's got the look of the mountains. It got to feel almost like you're at the pole, So he'll be again. We always
and Bob is a newbie also. I mean, Rex Ray opened our eyes up earlier this year. He was our first guest this year, and he kind of gave a challenge to us and says, it's great hearing from these guys like me that's been doing this for so many years and have accomplished so much. But think about the new guys, the new Clauses that are coming into the industry on both sides, and what they have to share and offer, and new, fresh ideas. And Bob's another one of those. We met him in Branson. Got a fantastic look. Another one of those that just was so attentive in class, asking questions, and excited to have him.
See, that what's great about the new Santa is they have no predetermined yet anything. They just want to
Right.
learn, just want to listen. They just want to be a part, and their mind just goes like, and that's what's great about any new Santa or Mrs. Claus is they're not, and I hate this is a negative word, jaded in any way or have a predetermined things. They learn everything new and fresh, and they're always young too, which really they're so
And
much
the
younger.
industry
They take it on so much better too.
is always changing. So
Yeah.
for them, they get this new fresh perspectives. Like I said, they don't have any bad habits.
No.
And if they do, they learn real quick how to readjust and make those. A lot of us that do it for a while, you kind of get set in your ways, and you sometimes you fall back on things that you're comfortable with. When new ideas come out, you're kind of hesitant. Well, that's not the way I do it. But these guys that are just coming in, Clauses on both sides, Santas and Mrs. Clauses, they have that fresh new perspective.
Totally. Then October. Wow. Can you believe we're saying that word October already? October 10th. Santa Kenny Blair. Uh,
Mhm.
he's from Oklahoma. I have him. What has he had? Have you had a Santa from Oklahoma before? That's interesting. I love it. He's a head football and baseball coach from Oklahoma Public Schools. So he's got another perspective about how to probably get the people all worked up and get you excited about stuff because that's what he does. I'm sure with his football and baseball students,
Yeah,
teams.
and
So
and this particular pick, being Oklahoma City, Scott Seriton lives in Oklahoma City, Edmond, and this is one of Scott's recommendations. He knows Kenny. Kenny's not well known in the Santa community as a lot of other folks. He's been doing it for a while, but the cool part is he is a diverse Santa, like Eric and Moesha or Larry Jefferson, and he of course, being a head football and baseball coach, has worked with children, so he had a leg up right there to start with. The cool part is he's got a private seamstress that
private.
only does costuming for him, and she is phenomenal. He
Wow.
has one of the largest wardrobes
Wow.
of
Lucky guy. What a lucky guy.
combinations of things that are absolutely. I mean, I've dug through his stuff, and I cannot find one outfit that isn't over the top. He is really blessed in many ways and going to be
Wow.
a fantastic guest. We're really excited to
Hopefully he
get Kenny
brings
on.
pictures on that night and we can see some pictures of some of his
Yes,
suits.
absolutely. Yeah,
That'd be fantastic. Or maybe he's got some on if he's a Facebook user. I can scoop
yeah,
his
yeah. He's
page
on
there and see
Facebook.
some. But
Either under uh, you can find him under Kenny Blair, which is his personal page, or Santa Blair. If you go look and check him out because he's really going to be a fun and interesting guest on October 10th.
wow, but
Okay, Randy, you ready to move on? Get some trivia answer in here.
I
According
think
to the
it's a good
University of
idea.
Illinois Christmas Tree Facts, where was the first decorated Christmas tree? That's going to be Riga, R-I-G-A. I guess is the way you pronounce that, Lafayette. And that was in 1510. 1510. Golly.
1510. I mean,
Yeah.
decorated tree in 1510. How did they even know? And I'm kind of curious what was put on there.
I have, that's something I didn't ever see in the stuff that I read as far as what they decorated it with, but
I remember when I was a child going to my grandparents' house in downtown Detroit area, and you get in there, and of course the living room is probably 12 by 12. It's never the old houses were never that big, and they have a big huge Christmas tree, and of course they had these little clips with candles lit on the tree. I just to this day I think going, oh my gosh, how they did that for years and years and years. Lit candles on a Christmas tree.
and,
Wow.
and before electricity, that was
Yeah,
a
had
common
to.
thing
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
But most folks waited until a day or two before Christmas to go out and cut their trees. They didn't put them up a month
yeah,
or
yeah.
6 weeks or 8 weeks ahead of time and leave them up to mid-January like a lot of folks do now, or even year-round as some clauses do. So They were fresh. I guess the chance of fire was a lot less back then. I also remember back before electricity, they would women would string popcorn and dried berries
Yeah, that
and things of that sort to decorate the
that doesn't
tree
seem
with. So,
dangerous to me. That's lit candles on a tree seems dangerous to me for some reason.
yeah, more than just a few days old, I'm afraid of
Yeah, yeah, but that was what was the name of that city again, Bob? You got to pronounce it. Riga,
Riga, Latvia,
Latvia,
Latvia in
1510,
1510.
guys.
And then what country and date was the first printed reference to a Christmas tree? That appeared in Germany in 1531.
Not many years later, it was referenced in referenced then.
Not
That's
at all. So our winner
wow.
there, Angie. Yeah. Oh, Jeff Olet. Hey, Jeff, good
Hey,
job.
Jeff.
Good job. Yeah, I mean that was one that came up fairly easy with a quick Google search. And the article that I saw, according to University of Illinois, is the reason I put that in there because all that information was in that one single article when you Googled that term. All right, fantastic. All right, man. You know what? I got that magical moment feeling coming on here, Randy. You ready? Let's rock it, brother.
Got it. Hello again, everybody. Hello, hello, and it's magical moments time. I got something. I always bring it up almost every week, but I can't believe it's only 125 days. 125 days, and it's all over. The holiday season is over. I mean, it's Christmas Day, and a lot of us. In fact, my first gig is 55 days away. Man, 55 days away. That's in the middle of October, and of course, a lot of us are doing big box stores, and that starts November 4th, I think, and something like that. So that's what 75. I mean, it's right around the corner. So there's so many things we need to do between now and then. Of course, we all know about our suits. We all know about, things like that. But this is something that, of course, we try to do every week is to perfect our craft. Of course, we do every time. And there's something out there that's, of course, technology that we sometimes don't think about that we should use as a prop to help us with our performance. And that's Zoom. I don't know if you guys do Zoom. A lot of people do Zoom, and the best thing to do is to use Zoom for your own critiquing. Man, I say you have, instead of just thinking, oh, I can read the book, I can have a great smile. Take a moment, log on to your camera, your laptop, your computer, log on to Zoom or something like that. And Zoom's probably the easiest, at least for me it is. And you hit that record button and you learn how to smile. You learn how to get your eyes twinkle. It's you take a few moments and then you play it back and going, well, wait a minute. When I said, oh, I look kind of silly or didn't sound right, it's a great way to rehearse and practice on a daily basis or a couple times a week right there on camera. You can critique and watch yourself. There's little things like, when you're reading a book, even, do you know, do you look at the children? Do you look at the book? And if you're going to read, it's a good way you just do the story or read it, way up at the North Pole in the land of ice. And you record the whole story, then you see what the children see. Then it's like, wait a minute, I kept my nose in the book, or I didn't enunciate enough, or I said, and I know I do this an awful lot, I say the word an awful lot. I notice that after, of course, I watch myself. Or if you're doing the night before Christmas, do you animate enough? Oh, the stockings were hung by the chimney with care, and hope St. Nicholas, that's me, soon would be there. Now, you tape it and you watch it and you think, that's what I like. That's not what I like. So use that as such a great advantage for us as performers, Santas or Mrs. Clauses or elves. It doesn't matter if you're doing a magic trick, you're reading a book, or you're just learning how to smile or keep that smile. If you're, do you smile like this? Smile like that? Do you smile big? What looks better on camera? And that it takes a little time and also for you to feel comfortable with it. So watch yourself on Zoom, record it, watch it, do it again, do the story again, do a magic trick again, or if you're playing a song, whatever it is, because what then you're going to watch is what the children are seeing, what mom and dad are seeing, and what they're paying for. So if you do a great job every time you perform on Zoom in your own home, then you will give a great performance when you're out there in front of the people. So use that tool as a great prop, as a video magic for us to learn further. Because we don't see ourselves sometimes, how we look, we don't see how we sit, we don't see how we talk or hear how we talk. But when you watch it, oh my goodness, it's a totally different world, especially if you're learning to do something. So use Zoom, use the video for your advantage to make your performance better. Because like I said, we want to sell Santa and Mrs. Claus. We want to be hired, but we want them to hire you because that's who you are. And so just a little bit thought, but take that time and record yourself, critique yourself, or have another Santa or Mrs. Claus or a friend. It doesn't even have to be someone in the holiday community. It could be whoever. And take a look at that. Tell them, well, you know what? The way you talk, I don't know, or the way you sit or move around, or you just have dead eyes, or whatever it might be. You're going to get a good critique on that. And it's the best way to learn, as far as I'm concerned. That's how I learned to do virtual visits time and time again, doing thing on video. So use it, and thank you guys always. I am just so honored and so blessed to be a part of this. I can't ever thank you enough. You saved my world more than you will ever know from last year. So thank you. Thank you.
Great job, Randy. Picking up a comment over here from Kimmy Claus. Good thing to do. Never thought about recording myself. And Kimmy, it's free. It's free to record yourself on Zoom, free account. Fantastic idea, Randy. For you and I, we can critique ourselves each week here on the show because we go back and watch the replays to see how we can improve. And so we do have that portion for us, but to do an actual performance in front of Zoom or anywhere that you can record it. You can even record a video on your phone if you wish.
Yeah,
If you
it
want
could
to
be
do
on
it
your
that
phone.
way.
That's fine. But then when you're reading this, most people read this night. Twas the night before Christmas, let's say, and to go through it, it's like, well, that wasn't very animated, or that's too animated, or I don't enunciate properly. And you're going to know that when you record yourself.
Yes.
And that's how we improve. But use that tool. It's a great thing to have.
Kimmy, we love you too. She says she loves us too very much. Thank you, Kimmy. Uh, great job, Randy. As always, fantastic. And we're running kind of long today. We've already look. It's 4:20 right now, so let's go ahead and jump into Santa's flight checklist right here. All right, so today's Santa Flight checklist. Let's talk about poems and short stories. Poems and short stories. When you're performing at an event, be it a corporate or home visit, and are looking for a great way to engage your audience, be sure and keep poems and short stories in mind. I don't know how many of you carry a book bag with you. I carry one that holds a half dozen books. and I'll swap out the books and change them from year to year. That way, I'm not carrying the same ones. But uh, inside those books, you can also have pre-printed poems or short stories, original short stories if they're yours. If they're a short story from someone else, per se, Gordon Bailey, in our textbooks have a series of short stories that he wrote that are great 2 3 minute sometimes 5 minute short stories. It's okay to use others' short stories as long as you give proper acknowledgement to those folks. Same way as you would if you use "Twas the Night Before Christmas." Always give Clement C. Moore the credit for that. If it can be a store-bought Christmas-related book or even your own originals, get your audience involved in innovative ways. Bring up a child or a child at heart, depending on the age of your group, because some events are for, as we said earlier, nursing homes, that sort of thing. So it depends on your age group, and let them interact as part of the story. Bring them into the story with you. Could even have them read a second part if the story is where two or more characters are written in the storyline. If you got Santa and Rudolph and they're interacting, have someone read the second or third part for you. Keep the poems or stories short though, because if you're doing a home visit or if you're doing a corporate event or even at the mall, I mean, you don't have more than 2 3 5 minutes to dedicate to one story. If you've got a home visit and say, for instance, you're going to be there an hour, then you can do a half a dozen different stories if you wish, and plug and play. You can have a series of pre-rehearsed stories that vary in length, so depending on your time restraints, you can plug and play, mix and match, as I said. Again, reach out to your contact person for that event or any event that you're doing and give them a list of the stories and find out the time that they have set aside. Let them help you put your story time program together. That's a great way to get your host involved. Happy customers are a great way to secure repeat customers, and choices are a great way to keep them happy. And that's today's Santa Flight Checklist for Monday, August
It's
21st.
fantastic, Bob. Always, man. And it's that Bob's saying, like I have in my book, I have a couple poems. This is a reindeer poem that a friend of mine wrote. It's a short one, or Christmas Eve poem. So same thing, just something short to add in. Like Bob says, have that stuff with you. It's a great thing. These are just two little poems, but we always have little books. There's plenty of short books out there, but this was a friend of mine wrote these too, so they're very personal for me. So, but yeah, great. And also, I think Ray's set up there. I gotta say, Ray, yeah, if you don't do Zoom or AI, no problem. We all have one of these. Just record your video on your phone. If you don't want to do that stuff, that's exactly no problem at all. Record on your phone or your tablet. That's fine. I
Yeah,
don't want to
and he
push
was the
Zoom
reason
or
he
anything.
was the reason that I mentioned
Yeah,
you can do
yeah,
it on your telephone also because you can
yeah.
also
I didn't mean
record.
to push the Zoom
record
bit, but
yeah, yeah. But again, back to Randy's point, just do it, critique yourself, make yourself better, uh, find out what you like, and improve on it on the things that you don't. Take what you like, throw away what you don't.
but be prepared, like
Uh,
Bob says, is with short stories and things like that, and know what the client wants, and talk those ahead of time. Like I said, all this is free. All today is, tomorrow night is. It's on YouTube, both shows. It's back on Facebook. It's all free for us to watch and to look at again, just to get better. Because the bottom line, it's our responsibility to make the children get those smiles as much as we can on the children's faces, and warm their hearts, because we want to keep that belief a little longer. Life in the world is really rough out there. And if they can be happier and believe one more year, a little bit longer, a few more years, man, we've done our job. And to put a smile on an aging person that might only be around another year, again, that's our job for Santa's
yeah.
Mission.
Speaking of doing our jobs, of course, kind of recapping today's show, be prepared with extra suits, uh, pads, baby wipes. That was from Randy's first question. The second one on mine, working for free. It's okay to work for free, but you can't do it all the time. And if you can, then you're very fortunate to be in the position to do. And there are some Santas, they're limited, but there are some that don't charge for anything. They do it for free. Financially, that's fine. They're in a place to do that. You know, anytime you see something intriguing like a early 1500 date on a Christmas tree, that's a lesson to be learned. It's something that you can work into your backstories. Spoke backstories earlier, and then poems and short stories. Uh, you know, pick out some poems, short stories, use them to your advantage. Keep your repeat customers and give them choice and make them happy. And then to Randy's point is critique yourself.
It'll just make us better, and we're all better together. We're better, and that makes everybody, our clients, happier and gets us rebooked.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Randy, fantastic show as always, brother. I hope that you get to enjoy the cooler weather while you've got it, and
It'll
I'm
be
going
hotter the
to
rest of the
give
week.
you a hard time when the snow comes. Be looking forward to
Yep. See, you don't have to shovel that 110 degrees. You never have to shovel that.
it.
You will never
Now,
slide
and
through that.
Ray Bradshaw lives here in North Texas with me. He's about 30, 45 minutes north of where I'm at. And he says outside his house right now, it feels like 119 with the apparent temperature of 109. So that's just to give you a hint of what's going on here in North Texas. So, all right,
I'm
fantastic. Thank you.
melting.
Go ahead, Randy.
I'm melting.
Yes. If you were a snowman, you'd already be a puddle. Speaking of peeing, you'd just be a puddle of water.
That's it.
uh, All right, thanks everyone. Kimmy says she had the bell out already. Want to say thanks to everyone who tuned in today, participated, help us out on putting together a great format here. Love you all, Everett. Good to see you again, and everyone else. Thank you to Angela Mack for her hard work and dedication over here. Parker, I'll send you the script right after we get off here, and then I'm going to work on putting together the slide uh, video, I guess you'd call it, for all the pictures and stuff you sent me. So fantastic. Thanks, everyone. Hope to see you back here next Monday for the Bob Randall and Company live preview show. And tomorrow night for the Tuesday Night Live show where we got Parker, everyone's friend.
Parker!
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Stay safe.